Hello. I will be telling you about Kingdom's Reign, the Discord, and what we'll be doing every week. I'll try to keep it short. We'll start at the bottom, non-kingdom related topics. That's pretty self-explanatory. Everything above this I'd like to keep in roleplay and in-world, so if you want to post funny memes about what's happening, just drop it down here. Don't put it up in the world lore or something. Next is the turn. This is where you'll be putting your text-based turns in if you wish to do so. I would recommend doing call-ins turns. It'll only take 5-10 minutes, and that's much more preferred than dropping a text-based chunk, because if you're doing something like an encounter out in the wild, that takes a good amount of back and forth. And not to mention if you wanted to wait to see the result of a roll before you decided what to do with the rest of your KP. But if you're in a pinch, drop it here. Next is World Lore. It's pretty self-explanatory. I'll be dropping this weekly as I get it from you guys. All of your Kingdom lore, which is blue lore chunks on the OneNote, all of the blue lore chunks will be kept just between you and I. And then the green lore chunks are about the grander world. That will be dropped here, so that we all can know that. Next is communication. The All Realms is just where everyone can chat, and it's every person communicating with every person. The in-universe laws is totally up to you guys. I'm not going to be touching this, but I am willing to enforce rules upon this if everyone agrees upon it. Like, it'll create secrets if you go against one of these and such. Below that will just be all of the communications between each other, and just like these are for now just one-way communications between me and you, but it is very important that you go up and you send me a message to request a communication with another kingdom if you want it. I would prefer you guys not actually just message off Discord. I want you to message in this communication chunk, and it is very easy and quick for me to make a communication link that only 2 or 3 or 4 kingdoms can see, or any kingdoms that want to be included. So just ask me in a direct message in this communication, hey, I want to open a communication with this kingdom, and this kingdom only, and no one else can see. I will absolutely do that. The reason behind this is that I want to be able to see what's going on at all times, preferably, and I don't want you guys messaging off this channel and then later coming in and being like, well, he promised me this, he promised me this. So just keep it all in here. Next is the rules. Pretty self-explanatory. If you have any questions, I would appreciate if you checked this first, but I mean, if we're in the moment, it's not a big deal to just shoot off a question. And then I also have all of the stuff written out here. Stuff's changing a little bit, so the most prominent document that will absolutely always be updated will be, I don't think it's in here, it's up at the top. It will be this one right here. This Kingdom Reign player version will always be the most up-to-date thing. It takes a lot for me to go in and actually edit this, although I'm trying to keep up to date as small things change here and there. So, if you want to see the rules as up-to-date as possible, I will even pin this message right now. Go here, look at this. There's general rules in here, and then there's also unofficial rules, and some courtesy rules in here that I think are definitely worth reading. So give these a read. Next is voice channels. There's King's Court, which is obvious. Trading Secrets is just a stupid little thing I created. And turn taking. If you see someone in a turn taking session with me, don't join. That means they're talking about what they're doing with their turn. So just don't even jump in there. Next is, and most important, is the weekly game. Heritage Pot is the card game in entertainment. Cards will drop here. You can bid on cards. Once there's 3 cards in it, someone can bid a minimum of 50 kingdom points to bid on the entire pot, all of the cards, and that can grow and stuff. You can also spend KP from future rounds in here to win a pot if you really want. Next is Rumor Mill. Each turn I am going to be dropping rumors, 1 rumor for each kingdom. It will either be true or false based on a coin flip, and then you guys can believe it, not believe it, try to figure it out through espionage whether they're true, and then I'll just be continuously updating those. Next is the weekly prompts. This is going to be a very important part of the game. and it will cycle on a 3-week basis. So week 1 will be King's Court, where we'll do an audio call where everyone will jump in and we'll just try to talk. This is not the most important thing to attend always, but this is a good way to get everyone's ear. These will always be the week after a world event, so it might be important that, hey, big world event just happened, the very next week, let's all try to get on and talk King's Court and see how we can resolve this. But for the most part, these are optional. I'd like everyone to try to make the first one on March 3rd. That would be awesome, so that we can actually get everyone together. Would be really cool. Week 2 is a world or kingdom lore building prompt. That is pretty self-explanatory. I'll send out either a question for each kingdom to answer. It could be world building, or it could just be something, how does your kingdom do this? And then the events, they will have responses and consequences. Often they will last several turns, or they can just be immediate, it says in the event. So that is pretty much the weekly game. And we next move on to general. Once again, this OneNote is the most important and up-to-date thing that we've got so far. And I would like everyone to fill out a template. That would be preferable. The template will just be this is how you're going to place your kingdom points if I am not there to actually, or you're not able to get to me, or I'm not able to get to you. I'll just do this. If you guys don't do this, then your kingdom points will just be lost on a turn that you don't send in your stuff. Now, turns will be, they will start on Friday and they will end on Thursday night. So our first day of the week is Friday, our last day of the week is Thursday. So if you do not get me your kingdom's points allocated and we haven't talked in an entire week up until Thursday and you haven't sent me a message, then you don't get a kingdom turn, or I just fill it out via this. We're going to keep moving, and I'm going to be relatively harsh on, if you don't find time, if you can't find time in 10 minutes in a week and you haven't filled this out, then there's nothing I can do for you. Okay, next I think I want to cover your kingdom sheets. So here I have all of the kingdoms. I'm going to go in here, and I'm just going to pick on Jared for Axelphage. You will all have this sheet shared with me, and we can just come into here, and this is where we can both edit this sheet and come in once you get an exploration or a colonizing skill, and we can all come in and edit it and place whatever we want inside of these. So this is where you will be updating your kingdom and looking at what you have and everything. So this is a very important process of it. And then the other side will just be a lore chunk that we can drop anything that we want. And yeah, so between this, Discord, the sheets, Discord, the OneNote right here with the rule clarifications, and the Roll20 map, that will be everything that you will have to manage. And I think it'll get very easy once we kind of hit the ground running. And you have all of these things in easy access, and hopefully you've been thinking about it a little bit so you know what to do when the time comes. I believe the last thing I want to cover is going to be placing your KP each turn. I know that I had dropped that in here somewhere. Give me 1 second and I'll find out where I put it. Okay, I found it. This image right here will explain how each turn will play out. So the blue, it looks like a lot, but the blue is actually things I will be doing. Green is the things that we will be doing together. So every week we'll run down this, and then the week will be done. The first thing is Rumor Mill will drop Friday night, and then we will resolve any prompts that are set to resolve and reveal new prompt. These are for the events that I was talking about. A lot of them say that they resolve next event, which is 3 weeks later. Also, we might hold King's Court at this point. 3, I will roll for spell recharges on all of your kingdoms. 4, I will roll for turmoil. 5, I will change market modifiers if we've hit currency and there's a market. 6, I will resolve any conditions, the little purple conditions. Those are, you can check in the rules, but essentially they're things that you were waiting to see the result of. So if you tried to convert someone's kingdom through religion and the other kingdom had a chance to stop it through religious skills, we essentially push that off to next turn to see who wins that stalemate there, and then we resolve that, and then I confirm any changes from previous turns. Now, this is important to remember that I have to manage 8 kingdoms, each with 9 policies that are very unique and very different and always changing. So, at this point, if any of the things that we confirm, I need you guys to essentially help me realize that no, it's this. I had this and this and this, and then it'll catch up and I'll remember. But that's why we're going to go through confirming changes of previous turns and looking at your kingdom sheet and making sure it's ready to go. And after that point, if we both stamp the approval that yes, this is my kingdom, everything looks good, at that point moving forward, there's little that I can do as the Realm Master of, oh, no, I forgot that I did this trade with him. I'd like to get that. And it's like, well, that's a little too late. Next is continue to place KP for during week. So that is just the regular, I'd like to put 50 of my 120 here, the remaining 70 here. And then after you place all your KP and everything inside your turn is resolved, you reveal 3 hexes attached to one you have already revealed. That's just your kingdom's view expanding at the end of the turn. And then after you have all placed kingdom points, this is after everyone has done everything, and Thursday night I will settle the heritage pot, whoever's bid the most, and I will change the game map and the Roll20 map as it needs to be. So if you've added a building and another kingdom is secretly spying on you at all times, I will update that building for you, and I will update that building for them. Lastly, if you are submitting your turn and your turn has to do with roles, so if you're like, I'm just going to send it all text-based this week, but the skills that I want to use have roles and difficulty checks inside of that, what I would like you to do is to come to Roll20. I'm not going to open it up right now because it would show a bunch of the maps and stuff, but I'd like you to go to Roll20 and you're going to do /GM roll. And at that point you'll do D100 rolls, obviously, so /GM roll 1D100, and then I would like you to also type your DC. And if you do the /GM roll, that will mean that no other kingdom will be able to see your roll or what you're rolling for. So that is helpful, and then that way when I get to your message, I can also go to Roll20 and confirm that, oh, you did succeed that check, okay, you failed that one, and then we'll be up to date. So that is how kingdom turns will go, and that is the explanation for our Discord. If you have any questions, obviously, please ask me. We're very close to starting, and it's very exciting. A couple of things that if you want to get ahead of it that you can always do to make things easier the day of is send me which governments you are going to do if you've already decided, and get me that template of if I can't make it, here's what it's going to be so I can save that. Other than that, let's just have some fun in this thing. I think it'll be pretty exciting. Right, peace out.